know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off, you've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band. Is BoogeyMan band.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for several months now, but because of a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life, I kind of lost focus on this one because I had planned on doing this video early this year, but because of all the stuff going on with my house, I kind of backburnered it and started working on some other things. But this is going to be a ranking of the Dirty Harry franchise, of course, a staple for Clint Eastwood fans. Now, I originally saw the Dirty Harry films back in 2008. That was when they put out the special editions of the films, and I had each one of them individually. I traded them at Rasputin's for some other things. I don't know why I did that, because they were really, really nice releases. And then more recently, I purchased this, which encompasses all 5 films. There were films that released between 1971 and 1988. So a total of 5. And the reason why I went back to rewatch them was because of David Soul's passing, because David Soul plays a pretty major character in the second Dirty Harry film, that being Magnum Force. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all 5 films, rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. Now, bear that in mind, I enjoy all of them. I think they're all great. I just rewatched Sudden Impact last night, and had a blast watching it. It was so much fun. They're all great. I love Clint Eastwood. I love that this is just an adult film series, no holds barred. It's non-PC, it's brutal, it's got lots of nudity, it's foul mouth, it's fun. And the villains are over the top, and I just have a great time watching them. And I feel like there's a lot of elements that sort of play into horror, especially the fact that the original Dirty Harry is very much inspired by the Zodiac killings that happened here in the Bay Area. So I thought it would be perfect for this channel just to rank them. I'm going to give a little bit of a synopsis on each one and why and how I feel about each individual film. Again, none of them are bad, but this is just the way that I would rank them. And I hope everyone looks forward to this, and here we go.
Number 5 for me is The Enforcer, released in 1976. Plot synopsis involves Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan reluctantly teaming up with rookie Inspector Kate Moore to foil a terrorist organization made up of disgruntled Vietnam veterans. This is the first and only film in the franchise where Harry Callahan has a female partner, and I really thought the chemistry between him and Tyne Daly was fantastic. This is also one of my favorite openings to a Dirty Harry film because it deals with this liquor store holdup. So the people holding hostages at this liquor store demand a car, and Harry actually drives a car into the liquor store. And it's just one of the greatest set pieces, again, you know, just showing how badass the character is. I also thought Deveron Bookwalter as Bobby Maxwell was truly terrifying. First scene showcasing his cruelty really makes your skin crawl. And the finale of the film is great because it takes place on Alcatraz, dealing with the partners trying to rescue the mayor who's been kidnapped. And even though it's my number 5 pick, I still really enjoy it. And like I said, I think the strength of the movie is the relationship between Tyne Daly's Kate Moore and Clint Eastwood's Harry Callahan. Number 4 for me is going to go to the 5th film in the Dirty Harry franchise, and that is The Deadpool, which was released in 1988. It was the last film in the Dirty Harry franchise. Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan must stop a 6 secret contest to murder various San Francisco celebrities, with himself being one of the targets. Now, this was the first Dirty Harry film I saw because I remember renting this as a kid. I don't know why I rented it, because I really wasn't into Clint Eastwood movies before this. Became a bigger fan of him after In the Line of Fire came out in 1993, but I just remember renting this and rewatching it. It's a lot of fun. It really does have more of a horror aspect to it than some of the other entries in the franchise. Love seeing early performances by Liam Neeson and Jim Carrey. Liam Neeson's character, Peter Swan, is a horror movie director, so there's a lot of horror movie elements. Clint Eastwood was close to being in his 60s in this film, and just it doesn't slow down. It doesn't slow him down at all. He's still kicking ass right at the beginning of the film. I really also liked the love interest between him and Patricia Clarkson as Samantha Walker, who's a reporter. They have really good chemistry. She's actually wanting to do a story on him, a profile on him, and just, you know, everything that he's done, and he's kind of, you know, like not really interested in it. This whole game about the Deadpool is really interesting. Also, he has a really cool partner in Al Quan, played by Evan C. Kim. It's probably one of my least favorite partnerships in the franchise, but I still did like it. And also really enjoyed this one action scene highlight with this toy car that the killer has this bomb attached to, and he blows up one car, and then there's a moment where he's chasing Harry and Al Quan through the streets of San Francisco. It's really great. I think it's just a terrific set piece and has a really good ending. Number 3 for me is going to go to the fourth Dirty Harry film. That is Sudden Impact, which came out in 1983. This one, the plot for this one deals with a woman who exacts deadly revenge on the aggressors who raped her and her sister 10 years earlier, and Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan is assigned to this case. So I just rewatched it yesterday, and it really does have some disturbing moments in it. The rape scene between the character of Jennifer Spencer and her sister Beth is really disturbing to see. The villains in this one are pretty despicable, and the head of them being played by Paul Drake as Mick and Audrey Neenan. Both of them are really, really over the top and very, very scary. Also, I love the fact that this one doesn't actually take place 100% in San Francisco for the first time. This one actually is set in the fictional town of San Paulo, but it's really shot in Santa Cruz. So a lot of the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, where The Lost Boys or Jordan Peele's Us more recently was shot. It is a very dark film. It almost had, for me, it had moments where it reminded me of some of Clint Eastwood's other films, like Tightrope. And I love the final showdown at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. It's really one of the highlights from the entire franchise. It really does have a different feel from the first 3 films. It feels a lot more harder edged. Now, this one might be controversial, but number 2 for me is going to be the original Dirty Harry film, which was released in 1971. When a man calling himself the Scorpio Killer menaces San Francisco, tough as nails police inspector Dirty Harry Callahan is assigned to track down the crazed psychopath. Now, I know saying that this is my second favorite out of the franchise might be sacrilegious, but it's still an amazing film with a terrific character. Of course, as I stated, this is actually, based around, the Scorpio Killer is really based around the Zodiac Killer, which was terrorizing San Francisco at the time. I love the introduction to the character where you just see him. He's this rooftop sniper, and you just see him, he's got his target picked out, and that's what kicks off the film. And then you have Dirty Harry investigating it, and the way they establish Harry in this one in terms of, just like how badass he is there's a bank robbery scene that happens while he's on his lunch break, and while he's still eating his hot dog, he's like taking down these bank robbers. It's just such a badass scene. There's some terrific moments in this film. One where Harry's trying to deal with this man who's trying to commit suicide. There's also this ransom handoff scene where they're trying to save this 14-year-old girl who Scorpio is buried alive. And then, of course, the finale where Scorpio actually takes a bus full of kids hostage, and just the final showdown between him and Dirty Harry is absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's a terrific film, and it's just a hair under my pick for number 1. And as everybody knows by now, my number 1 is Magnum Force, which was the second Dirty Harry film. It came out in 1973. Plot for this one: Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan pursues a conspiracy of vigilante cops who are not above going beyond the law to kill San Francisco's undesirables. The death of David Soul earlier this year really got me low. Just was a huge fan of the guy from, of course, Salem's Lot, my favorite movie of all time, but he was just a staple in my life from as long as I can remember, and now I'm just kind of curious to go back and revisit or discover some of these other movies and television shows that he did. I had seen Magnum Force once before, and it was the first one I put on shortly after his passing, and I was just mesmerized by this film. I love the motorcycle assassins. They're very creepy. I love the way that they're shot, and I thought all of the actors did a great job. I really liked David Soul, of course, as Officer Davis, but Tim Matheson, who I'm a huge fan of as well, was great as Officer Sweet. Not really familiar with Kip Niven, the late actor, but Robert Urich was another actor I really respected, who's unfortunately passed on as well. Him as Officer Grimes was great. Huge fan of Felton Perry. It's funny, I actually used to work with his daughter-in-law when I worked for a cookware company, so I actually have an autographed picture of him. And I knew him from RoboCop primarily, but now I'm starting to see him in other things, and I'm just a huge fan of him, and he did a great job. He's my favorite partner with Clint Eastwood in the franchise, just because I'm a fan of the actor. Also, the late Hal Holbrook was a terrific actor. I was a fan of him since Creepshow, and I thought him as Lieutenant Briggs, him and Harry do not get along. And that tension between the two is very palpable. They do terrific work. Mitchell Ryan, who passed on several years ago, who people might know as Dr. Wynn from Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. He was also in Lethal Weapon and Liar Liar. He's really good as Charlie McCoy. He doesn't have a huge part, but it was nice to see him as well. Also, the opening scene deals with this hijack at the airport, and Harry poses as a pilot and thwarts the terrorist plot. It's a great film, and it leads to a really terrific chase scene at the end with Dirty Harry on a police bike, and him and David Soul racing around the docks in San Francisco, and the reveal of who's the mastermind behind everything was really great. Yeah, I can't say enough great things about Magnum Force. It really is my favorite Dirty Harry film. Makes me miss a lot of these actors that have passed away, like Hal Holbrook and Robert Urich, and of course the late great David Soul. But yeah, terrific film. Can't say enough great things about it. It is my favorite of the Dirty Harry films.
So that's going to be it, my fellow Fright Fiends. Again, not horror, but still has a lot of horror elements in these films. I didn't want to give a lot of spoilers away with regards to the stories. I just wanted to sort of give an overview and talk about the things that I liked about each of the films. But yeah, what a terrific franchise. What a terrific character. I'm actually pursuing getting one of the Harry Callahan sideshow releases. They have a bunch of Clint Eastwood approved figures that are coming out through Sideshow. I think some of them are already available, but I'm on the wait list for the Harry Callahan ones. But I'm just a huge Clint Eastwood fan, and all of a sudden I'm obsessed with his work and his acting. Just an amazing man, and a true Renaissance man, and can't recommend the Dirty Harry franchise enough. So thanks so much everyone for watching. I hope everyone's doing well. Let me know what your favorite Dirty Harry film is down in the comment section below. Let me know if you've even seen the Dirty Harry films, and I promise I will talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace. Hey, my fellow Fright Fiends, I just want to thank everyone for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you haven't yet subscribed and you'd like to, please hit the subscribe button down below. Click the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I try to drop a video at least once or twice a week. The Horror Zone is a passion of mine, and it really makes me happy that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.